What does that mean? What are you saying?
I mean, that was fluff. If I've ever seen it.
It's complete fluff. It's PR, bro.
Yeah, probably not living according to the scriptures. And then because of all that fallout.
And so they're dealing with all kinds of darkness that like most audience members don't understand.
Do you think it's a responsibility to share that though? Like, what if it's oversharing?
Ruslan.
Dante Bowe made his comeback away from Maverick City. And he did an interview with CBN. Now, as with most of our videos, people DM me this, ask me my thoughts on it. And there's some interesting things here that we're going to address, and some things that some people don't fully know what happened that has been verified, independently verified. And let's jump into it.
I think we all woke up surprised when Maverick City announces they're pausing their relationship with you. What were you thinking when that was announced?
That's a good question. And things to catapult you into your next step. And so I don't think it was like something that shouldn't have happened. I think it should have happened because now I have this incredible team. I've rebuilt, my infrastructure with the most incredible people and most incredible producer, John, who's helped me release, Hide Me and this entire album, Press Play. And I don't think that would have happened if, just certain things didn't occur. The trials are not in vain. Nothing is wasted. Nothing's in vain.
First of all, it sounds like he's still making fire music, so I don't want to take that away from him. Kudos to him. Kudos to him for the bounce back, all that kind of stuff. What I find interesting is this is straight media training all the way.
Yeah.
There's no acknowledgement of what actually happened. Right? Yeah. Because, and I don't think this is good. I think this is old head PR stuff that someone told him how we're going to navigate this conversation.
We're going to go on CBN.
Yeah.
CBN?
Yeah. No one is doing this this isn't journalism. This isn't documentation. This is press. This is PR. And that's fine, right? That's fine. Like, do the PR thing. But it doesn't create a congruent, authentic story of what actually happened, and it leaves people confused, like my guy AC, who was like, so wait, what did he do? Like, people still think Maverick City distanced themselves from him because of the Bad Bunny video and the backlash there, or because he said he was excited to see Lil Nas X at the BET Awards or wherever that was at, Grammys, I don't remember where that was at. People think that's why why Maverick City stopped working with him. That's not why. And the fact that it would be this ambiguous, to me, I think kind of muddies the ground on Maverick City, and it kind of got them looking kind of crazy. And it also removes the responsibility of him having to acknowledge what actually happened. And this is verified. I haven't seen the pics, but this is verified. This fool posted nudes on his Instagram story.
That's what it was. I forgot about that.
You posted, so you was either so high or so drunk or so confused, or your phone got hacked. Something happened to the point.
My big bro got my phone, and then he hacked
phone?
me.
Right.
That's like the age-old excuse for like anything that going wrong on your phone.
Yeah. Like, this is not how you lean into a hard conversation and take responsibility and accountability and say X, Y, and Z happened. I was in a dark place. Here's why I was in a dark place. And I apologize. I made a mistake. And he did put out an apology, to be fair to him. He did put out an apology. He did say, but there was never any specific of what actually happened. And so, like, bro, just own it. Just own it. Don't come back and do this, like, fluffy, like, all is well, God uses it, da-da-da-da. Like, yeah, man, but, like, you come off inauthentic.
Yeah.
You come off fake, And I'm not saying he is fake. I'm not attacking him personally. I don't know the man. I thought the Bad Bunny stuff and all that stuff was just bogus. And at the time, I defended him. I defended him on the Lil Nas X thing.
Yep.
I was like, yo, this is stupid. Like, you guys are making a mountain out of a molehill. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, relax. When the things were confirmed with the leaked images, just own it. Just own it. You was drunk, you was high, or both. Something happened, or you was so out of your mind, you was on a manic episode. Something happened where somehow that ended up on your Instagram.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? There it is. Like that. Just keep it a buck.
Someone like you, I know you've endured so much, from family loss, abuse, homelessness. I don't know if you can even compare the trying times. Were you going through and looking back at that? What was happening?
God oftentimes prepares us for the journey, and I feel like everything I've gone through and everything I'm going through is important. It's very, very relevant to my destiny and my future and my purpose. In those dark seasons is when you really see the light, and when you really get revelation, a new vision, a new strategy, and new approaches to life. So I think, it's just a part of growth.
What does that mean? What are you saying?
I mean, that was fluff. If I've ever seen it.
It's complete fluff. It's PR, bro.
Yeah.
It's PR.
In its darkest moments is when you see the light and the vision. Is it?
Yeah, like
I think that's the hardest part. I think in the darkest moments is when you see the least light.
Yeah.
And then after that is maybe when you get some clarity.
Yes.
You go, oh, I should apologize.
when you come out of that, like rock bottom, then you see the light. You know what I mean? So like,
Pause, press play. The first single from that is Hide Me.
Hide Me.
Released in Times Square.
Can you believe that?
That's right. He is back now. He's going to debut his new song, Hide Me.
How did all of that come about in that song? What gave birth to it?
Yeah, me and my producer, John Webb, who I call my angel, because in that dark season, John was knocking on my door because I wasn't answering any phone calls, right? And he was knocking on my door, and he came in, and we just talking. He's like, let's go up to the studio. And so we immediately started recording. Didn't know an album would come out of it, but that's the plan of God. You know, it's like God's plan. You know, it's not our will, His will. It was just natural. John started playing that beat, and the first thing I thought of was, you know, I'm under the shadow of the Almighty. You know, I'm under His wing, and there is safety there. And I think this entire season has been me under the shadow of the Almighty. I felt so hidden, so protected, and close to Him. And I think a lot of people would think I felt, you know, a little, you know, down or out or, you know, depressed even maybe. But I really felt very protected by the Lord in this season.
What do you think it was that allowed you to feel that way? So protected in that time?
I don't necessarily know. I just feel like I never shut the door.
Hey, you want to see something crazy? 67% of the people who watch this channel are not subscribed. Do me a quick favor, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you stay up to date on all the videos here on the Blessed God Studios channel.
That's interesting.
what we're not going to do is speculate, and like we're not going to do that, right? I only speak on things that are publicly confirmed and verified.
Me too,
I do my
man.
very best to do that. So pull this back a little bit. Go ahead.
I really felt very protected by the Lord in this season.
What do you think it was that allowed you to feel that way? So protected in that time?
I don't necessarily know. I just feel like I never shut the door.
There's a lot of I feel statements. Like, I would be
Yeah.
interested to see how many times the word feel was used in this conversation.
That is
You know,
interesting.
it's a lot of I feel statements, which is nothing wrong with feeling stuff.
I also wonder, is his music being uploaded as like Christian worship? You know,
Let's check.
because he is definitely talking about all of this from like a personal artist point of view, right? Which I guess is okay if you're not marketing it as like a worship song, because typically, you know, an artist is going to go through a lot of ups and downs, and they're going to make music during that time, and that can result in like really good music, but it's
It's still categorized and marked as Christian. His latest single, which is "Hide Me," still categorized and marked as Christian.
Yeah. And I guess it can be Christian. I wonder if it's like still making it on worship playlists, because it's interesting that it's like it's definitely more of a personal song that is about personal struggles. I don't know if it's something that like. What do you think about that? What do you think about the origin of music being not so great, but then becoming like a worship song? Like this, he writes a song called "Hide Me," saying that he feels like he was under God's wing the entire time, and he feels loved and protected. But the origin of it was scandal, posting nudes on the internet, getting cut off from this worship band. You know, probably not living according to the scriptures, and then because of all that fallout, creating this quote unquote worship song, and then it ends up on a worship playlist. Do you feel like that could be okay because the song can be completely removed from the artist, or is it just kind of sus that it would end up on a worship playlist?
That's a good question. And I'm trying to see and verify. Like I was looking to see if it was on worship playlist. I don't see a ton of. I just see a lot of Christian stuff. I see worship now. Let's see if it's on this playlist. But this is a straight worship playlist, and I don't know if that's the song that's being pushed here. I think some of the best Christian music gets made from some of the darkest places. And I think the Christian consumer doesn't know that, and it's hard for them to wrap their brain around that. Because, look, man, most creators, especially musicians in a lot of these places, come from very hard upbringings.
Yeah.
And so they're dealing with all kinds of darkness that, like, most audience members don't understand. Like, unless you're like a Phil Wickham, or like someone that comes from like a great family and your mom and dad both love Jesus and they're still married 40 years later, and you just had this incredible upbringing. That's not how a lot of these guys come up. A lot of these guys come up with a ton of trauma, a ton of issues they're dealing with, abuse. And so it's not going, the music isn't always made, the best music isn't always made from stability and flourishing with Jesus.
Yeah. Okay.
It's often, so I don't think that that's unique to this specific song.
Cool.
I think it's indicative of of a lot of the music that's Christian music that's made. It's made from, and I always say this, and it sucks to say this live, but the very thing that makes for great art makes for a terrible life. So like living a hard life will oftentimes create great inspirational art. but it's a terrible life. It's a sucky, trash, hard life. But a lot of your favorite artists have lived very hard lives.
Yeah.
And so it's difficult to like connect that. And so it's like the stable functioning thing may not be the thing that drives quote unquote inspiration to make great art until it just becomes a complete muscle. And so I think a lot of music is made from a dark place. I mean, think about like a lot of the biggest hip hop music. It's made from dudes straight drugged out and you know what I mean, on pills, and it's dark.
Because I need him more in those seasons than even I need him, when I'm just on the mountaintop. You know what I mean? I always need him, but I just think I ran to him, faster. I wanted more of Jesus when I went through that. You know what I mean? And
that's good.
I think that's the point of it all. Sometimes those things happen, so we can draw near, right? And so I felt very, very close to him in that season, and also just the team he put around me. I felt so blessed. My friends were with me the entire time. I mean, it was really a fabulous time. Like I felt really, really blessed. And how can you not run to him after feeling so overwhelmed by his presence and his blessings?
So yeah, there it is. It's I'm disappointed in CBN because this is trash journalism.
Come on, son.
This is a complete train wreck.
Can't be disappointed in CBN.
I've passed up a lot of big interviews, guys, with people that wanted to do fluff pieces. CBN, Christian Broadcast Network. I've passed up on a lot of stuff with folks that wanted to do fluff pieces and use my platform to get whatever their new thing was out. And so it's like if they went into this saying like you can't talk about the incident, you can't talk about specifics of the incident, and have been told this by celebrity pastors. Okay, we can't talk about that specifically. I'd be like, no, like you're out of your mind.
You're
out of your mind. It's terrible. It's terrible journalism. And for him, like, sure, bro, like you'll be fine. Like he'll be fine. He'll make good money. He'll tour. He'll be good.
Yeah,
he'll be straight. But I don't think you go deeper with anybody after this. I think you just get more superficial, casual fans because you never show them your scars.
Yeah.
You never show them what really happened. You just kind of brush over and just be like, oh yeah, when in my dark time. What dark time? What happened? How did you get there? What led up to that?
Yeah.
Tell people.
Yeah.
Tell people, because in your willingness and humility to show your scars can help other people avoid the same issues you went through. I think that's the part, unfortunately, I think Dante's missing.
Do you think it's a responsibility to share that though? Like, what if it's oversharing?
He could do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking thus says it the Lord or like you have to do it this way. I'm just sharing my philosophy.
Yeah.
I think oftentimes sharing the hard things will cause for a greater impact. And if in our modern climate with Zoomers, the mountaintop of values is authenticity, you are not being very authentic.
How did Gen Z become Zoomers?
I don't know. I like the word though. But that's the highest value.
Yeah.
Authenticity, your truth, honesty. You're not sharing your truth and your honesty. I mean, I guess you are. This is your truth, but like, you're not really testifying to anything.
Yeah. But I mean, you always say, share things that you have overcome, not things you're currently going through.
Yeah.
It's the difference between vulnerability and authenticity, I think
There's the difference between vulnerability and intimacy.
Intimacy, yeah.
So I can come on here, I could be vulnerable with you guys, I could share you guys things, but I'm also not being intimate about like my Monday morning or like the thing that just happened this morning with the time I had with my 2-year-old.
With your kids,
I don't share that kind of stuff with you guys. I am vulnerable and I share my scars, but I don't share the intimate aspects of my life.
So the flip side would be like, I mean, maybe he's just trying to get back to it without actually having overcome a lot of things or really figured it out, and it's still relatively intimate.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Maybe it's not vulnerable where he's overcome this thing and let me talk about my darkness. It's like, oh, this is something I'm currently going through, and I'm just trying to get back to making music, so I have to be a little fluffy because I'm not trying to be intimate.
Yeah,
or you just retreat to the woods.
Or the money ran out.
Yep.
The money ran out, and I need to provide for myself. I got to provide for myself. And so like hire this PR firm, CBN will do a fluff feast. I'm not going to go have any hard conversations with anybody that really matters in the Christian space. Not that he has to come sit down with me. You know what I'm saying? No. But I would love to sit down with him. You know what I mean? I would love to sit down with him and like, bro, like let's really get to it. Let's talk about it. Let's really, really, really get to it and talk about it. Not because I think he needs to be discarded and casted away and never allowed to make Christian music again. I don't believe that about him. But like, I don't think he really did himself a big service. I mean, again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there'll be more interviews. Maybe he'll be more forthcoming. But I really think that the stuff we go through that really hurts and is embarrassing are the very same things that can help other people to avoid those same pitfalls. It's embarrassing for me to tell people that like I dealt with porn while being married. That's embarrassing.
yeah.
That's not cool. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know that it blesses people to hear that and then to offer resource on how to overcome that. You know?
Hey, this clip is from our daily after party stream. If you enjoyed it, consider signing up for our Patreon community for only $5 a month, where you get access to the replays of our daily after party streams, as well as the uncut extended versions of our podcast, Discord access that's private, and a discount code for our merch store, only $5 a month. And ultimately, it's the best way to help us contextualize the gospel of Jesus using media, podcasting, and of course, YouTube. The link for that is in the description or in the pinned comment. The perks are amazing. You should get on there. It's only $5 a month. I'll see you over there, all right? Peace.